Want to go, pretty boy?
Two minutes by yourself and you feel shame, and then you get free.
The only thing better than a glass of beer is tea with Miss McGill.
And welcome to the Fourth Line Voice Podcast. My name is Darren. Thank you very much for tuning in. Episode 447 of the Big Show, some enforcer-based podcasting coming at you, brought to you by the Hockey Podcast Network. How's everybody doing out there? Oh yes, the long weekend, May long weekend. Weather hasn't been very good here, but I've had a busy weekend so far. Yes, let me regale you with some stories. No, the big thing is, I took in the Freddy yesterday. Unfortunately, the Fred Saskatchewan Native Hockey Tournament in Saskatoon. It's here every year. This was my first year going out to it. I'll get into all that. I'll kind of give my review of it later in the show here. But I did that yesterday. Unfortunately, I couldn't get there today. I had to work and stuff. But good luck to the remaining teams. I got a new phone, folks. That's the other big thing. Anybody who knows me knows actually that's a big deal because I don't know how old my phone was. Many years. But yeah, got that. And I'm still, the only thing you get the new phone, it's all okay, great, but now you got to log back in. I'm like, I don't know what my passwords are at all because I haven't even attempted half of them. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Can I upload to Facebook because I have some videos, and other than that, can I post some shit? That's kind of the only thing I've cared about right now. But a bunch of like the work stuff, like the SharePoint shit from work and stuff, whatever. But as I'm recording, the Leafs are about to go down. Is it like 5-1 or something? I don't know. Once again, another solid effort in a Game 7 from the Leafs. Yeah, I see the Big Four really showed up. Oh yeah, we'll talk about that. And I got some hockey cards, folks. That's for my boy Napes. That's his favorite part of the show. I think he actually just shuts it off after I'm done opening these. We'll talk some Ice Wars, some Memorial Cup. Is Craig Berube a soft coach? We'll talk about it. That my boy John kind of brought it up, so I kind of went and looked into it, and we'll talk about it. And then I was going through some articles. Yuka had sent me a good one. It's the top fighters according to New Zealand. There we go. We're going to go way back. Come sit under the learning tree for that one. But I'm not going to do that today. I didn't have time to look up. I couldn't do that little piece of business justice right now. I want to do some research before I start flapping my lips about the list. So that's not one of those lists. Let's open it up on the air and we'll discover it on it. No. I'm going to look at it and go get the player. Because I really, it's a historic piece. And, for everybody that looks at the fighters now and in the 90s and stuff like that, I always say, well, they stand on the shoulders of the Sprague Cleghorns and everything from back in the day. So, I mean, every generation, right? So I want to give those guys their just due. So I won't do that list today. But as I was kind of going through different articles and newspaper stuff that I had saved that Yuka sent me and a bunch of people have sent me, I came across, and I know I've covered these before. I'm pretty sure I did all of them, but maybe I didn't. But we got new listeners now, and I mean, there's been 447 episodes. So whenever I did them, I'm sure people have forgotten them, whatever. So we'll go back. We're gonna chew our food twice, but whatever. Back in the day, the Regina Leader-Post, the newspaper, used to do the best in the West, and it was the Western Hockey League in the West Division, or I guess the East Division actually. But I guess it's the best in the East. They would send ballots to coaches and players, and they would vote on the best player, the best prospect, the best skater, the best fighter, etc. But you couldn't vote for anybody on your own team. That was the one stipulation. So, I mean, you're getting the ultimate insider vote, right? This isn't all, Blades fan 29 that's voting, and all the Blades are the bestest. No. This is the players and the coaches and shit. So it's like the real inside baseball here. So I'm gonna do 4 of them, the fighters from 2000 to 2003. Fortunately, they stopped doing it in 2004, or at least that's the last. I believe that's what somebody told me. That's the last article. Why would they stop doing it though? I'm like, I don't like. Why wouldn't you not keep doing that? It seems kind of. I mean, you can't do it now. I mean, there are even newspapers anymore. But I mean, somebody could still do it. But anyway, I have. We'll do that. That'll be our list for today. But I saw the articles and I was like, oh yeah, let's just do those again. I didn't look at them ahead of time. I mean, I've already done them. I've already read them. So it's not like, oh, this is a surprise. But obviously off the top of my head, I can't remember who the listing of the best fighters were. But I mean, you'll know some very familiar names. And yeah, we'll get into that. That'll be today's show. Yeah, just at the top here, folks. I was telling Jay, those guys today, and I mentioned it to Yuka as well. I had to work. Well, I always work, but I was working this morning, and all of a sudden it kind of dawned on me as I'm driving into work. I'm like, oh shit, I haven't recorded an episode. Because yesterday I worked in the morning until about noon. Well, that's not true. I lie. I worked for a while. Then I went and watched some of the games at the Freddy. Then went back to work, and then came home, and then got my phone, got a new phone, went back to watch a couple of the late games at 6:00. And then when I coming home, grabbed some drive-through on the way in, eating on the highway, driving home, and then I got home and basically just fell asleep on the couch, and that was the end of my night. It was a real exciting Saturday. So I didn't record Saturday night, but I will throughout the. It's all right to share. I mean, my father-in-law has been in the hospital actually for the last 3 weeks. And they're doing tests, and they finally did the biopsy, and it's been a whole show here. It's been a schmoz, but the state of healthcare in this province, boy. I mean, the nurses, they've all been great and all that, but it's just, man, crowded, and it just seems like the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing, and it's been a frustrating process. But the ball is rolling now, so things are going, and hopefully they can they can get going on things. But point is, between working all the time, the hospital stuff, my wife has just been phenomenal. I mean, she's going every day, every night, take it because her mom's there all day, and then she'll go and. Her mom will go home, and then she'll kind of hang out with her dad for a few hours. And I've gone up a bunch of times, but she's been there every day. So it's been tough, and and each day better up and downs, but and I think it's more the waiting more than anything else. But and I'm sure everyone listening, everyone's gone through this at some point in their life, right, with a loved one. With health issues and that type of thing. So, I mean, it's obviously a grind for everyone. And, so between working all the time and all that, I mean, to be completely honest, my mind hasn't been completely focused on podcasting. I mean, although again, I went to the Freddy and I did some of this today. I'm recording right now, but then I did record the Bruised and Battered, but that was in the afternoon. Really, I came home early that day and interviewed Yannick Turcotte for the show for next week, and then did the show with Alec basically in the mid-afternoon. So and then went to the hospital that night. But so a lot of running around, but so I don't know for the next little while anyway. I mean, I can still podcast everything else. I can still do all that, but it's just like, it's not like I don't have hours and hours of time to research and shit, and I'm going to come up with the big, let's investigate the code and how it started and blah, 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 I'd love to do those types of pieces, but as of right now, it's basically like, if anybody's got lists, please send them to me so I can kind of cheat and just have some content. I've talked to a few guys about doing interviews. I've talked to a few players. I need to get back in touch with a couple folks. But yeah, that's so going forward here in the next little while, we'll keep cruising along. But just to kind of let you know where my head is at for a lot of this, is going to be a lot of rush stuff. And again, it's not that I want to abandon the podcast, because that's not true. It's not like my wife is asking me to do this and, whatever. And like I said, I have a lot of, like when I get home from work, it's like 2:30, 2:45. I have time because she teaches and stuff and everything else. Like we don't go to the hospital till 6:30 at night, 6:30. So there is a window there where I can record and do stuff. But like I said, it's gonna be tight these next couple of days, and work is getting busy and amped up and et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, now that's a long preamble that no one asked for, but I'm just letting you know this is where my headspace is right now, and just what's going on in my life, and but yeah, so that's what's happening right now. But hey, we're here right now. We're sitting down here. We got a few beers, and it is Sunday on the long weekend, and let's talk about a few things, okay? As I said, we got to do this first. We're going to do some housekeeping, and then we're going to get into the meat of the matter. But as I always say, I'm a member of the Hockey Podcast Network. There's way more than 100 shows in the network. I'm on the original content creator side myself, Terry Ryan, Ted Hitchcock from Shoresy, Tales with TR. He's been doing it for a long time. And, of course, Joel Lazito, another guy that's been doing it for a long time, doing the Coliseum Chronicles. It was a New York Islanders-based podcast. And he's interviewed, like Fakota, Asham, Strudwick, on and on. He has since gone, as he calls it, off the island, because he's basically running out of Islander guys to talk to. But I'm pumped that he's going off the island. He has now just released Stephen Fletcher, Part 1, big, legendary tough guy from the minors. And so I'm looking forward to that. I'll definitely be tuning into that. Joe has it, like I said, amazing back catalog. Joe and I were texting today, and I kind of told him, I said, I did mention to him that I definitely need to get him back on the podcast, and we'll come up with something to talk about. Us two old farts can always find something to yammer about for a couple hours. So, and I always enjoy talking to Joe anyway. Not many do, but I don't mind it. We got to help out those people. But oh yes. Anyway. And then also my other podcast, I'm podcasting everywhere. The Bruised and Battered show that I do with Jay and Alec. I always say it's kind of their podcast. I'm just the guy I'm chimey in the back seat yelling out now and again. But our latest episode, actually, it was just Alec and I. Jay was off at his resort at his palatial estate in Mexico with his feet up, wondering what the poor people were doing. So it was Alec and I, and Jay did phone in from a bit for Mexico and talked a little bit. But basically, the Bruised and Battered show, it's a look at current toughness. It's always about fighting, always. But we give up about current minor league hockey. And so that's AHL, East Coast, Southern Pro, Federal League, and the LNH. Not a lot of LNH news lately, but I should get on that more. But minor league hockey, and we talk about signings and the latest fights and the shenanigans that go on in the minors. Obviously it's counting down. We kind of mentioned, we talked about it in June. We're going to be going to bi-weekly. So, because when you're doing a current show, there ain't much to talk about in the minors. So we'll be doing that. But our latest episode, and we interview Brendan Dowler from the Knoxville Ice Bears. We talk about, he was a great guest. Jay interviewed him. And next week will be, I interviewed Yannick Turcotte the other day, and that will be next week's episode. Just about because we had him on for episode 5. He's a great guest. And that we kind of talked a little bit about his career and just fighting in general, and he's so well-spoken, well thought out, great answers and stuff. But wanted to have him back at the end of the year, kind of a season in review, because he went from the East Coast League in Fort Wayne to Chicago Wolves in the American League. And we talked about that transition and the different fights that he had this year. And always enjoy talking to No Panic Yannick. So that'll be next week's episode. But definitely, please follow the Bruised and Battered show. That'd be great. Follow us on social media, Bruised and Battered. We're on all this: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, blah blah blah. Same with the Fourth Line Boys here. Please check out my YouTube channel as well. I have over 2,500 videos, all different leagues. Go down that rabbit hole. Please subscribe to the channel. Don't just watch videos and click off. If you could subscribe and maybe like a few videos, that'd be cool. They like it, the algorithms and stuff. And, that's all everything is nowadays, the algorithms. But and same with this show. If you could please download, don't stream. That's how we get paid. That's how we follow it. And the network likes the interaction. But yeah, and if you could, before you hit play at the top there on iTunes or on Spotify, there's like the star rating. Could you please give us a star rating and review the show? I keep saying we, like the Bruised and Battered show. Well, do that for the Bruised and Battered show, but the Fourth Line Voice as well. If you could please do that, that would be great. If you could just hit the stars. And like I said, in the reviews, you don't have to write anything if you don't want to. Just hit the stars and keep going. You're going up there to hit play anyway. But if you want to leave a review, you certainly don't have to leave War and Peace or anything, but a little blurb would be cool. And if you want to get a hold of me, for whatever reason, you have an idea for the show, you want to come on the show, you want to share a story, what have you, I'd love to hear from you. Like I always say, this is this fans podcast. This is your guys' podcast. As the kids would say, my DMs are open. And if you're not on social media, like I always say, you're smarter than the rest of us. I wish I didn't have to be. But, email me, hockeyfights@hotmail.com. Yes, right. I still have a Hotmail account. That's hockeyfights at Hotmail. It's sort of fitting, right? Drop me an email. Love to hear from you. So, but anyway, let's get, before we got to do the one ad, we got the DraftKings ad. Hey, hell of a promo right now, folks. I'm telling you, use the promo code THPN. Everyone's betting anyway. If you want to bet in the playoffs, should have bet on Florida. That was the safest money going today, boy. I know I made a few bucks. I knew the Leafs were going to choke in Game 7. We'll do that, the DraftKings ad, and then we'll get into this.
And now, here's a word from our sponsor.
Hey, basketball fans, are you ready to win some real money? Check out Pick 6 from DraftKings. When it comes to basketball payouts, DraftKings Pick 6 dunks on its rivals, including prize picks. Just select 2 or more players and choose if they will have more or less of a stat, like points, rebounds, 3-pointers, and more. Pick 6 is available in most states, including California, Texas, Georgia, Missouri, and more. Don't settle for a small payout. Switch to Pick 6 and cash in your basketball knowledge. New players get $50 in Pick 6 credits instantly on just a $5 entry. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use the promo code THPN. That's code THPN for new customers to pay $5 and get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Better payouts, bigger wins. Only with Pick 6 from DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-78-97777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 plus age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms and pick6draftkings.com/promos.
Now back to your regularly scheduled program.
Okay, we're back. Oh, sorry. I gotta write down my ad read, folks. We gotta keep track of these sort of things. So there we go. Here. Drink a little Great Western. Let's support the locals. Like I always say, Union made here, right here in Saskatoon. To support the boys here. It's Great Western Ultra. That's right. Well, it's bikini season. You got to look good. We're going to count the calories here these days. Moment on the lips is forever on the hips. But we're going to open some cards. What do I got here? I got Upper Deck. It's, what year is these? 91, 92. Upper Deck. The old Dollarama. Maybe I won't. Yeah, it's a. Oh, here we go. It's a real. There, finally, we got them open here. I was going to say it's a slow developing here. All right, what do we got here? Oh, New York Islander, Dave Volek. Oh, I should maybe put that aside for friggin' Lazito. Go along with his jersey. Oh, and then we're off to the Swedish. Who's this? Nicholas Lindstrom. Well, he wasn't too bad. Team Sweden. Benoit Hogue, one of the fastest men on Sega Genesis hockey. I can tell you that. Tony Granato. Steve Larmer, underrated star, Steve Larmer. Craig Simpson, oh, fuck. That is softer than a fucking Disney matinee, that guy. Brian Noonan, the all-request Noonan. Sheldon Kennedy, there we go. Well, we got a rookie. Stefan Fasse, goalie for Quebec Nordiques. Troy Loney for Pittsburgh, kind of an underrated. He was a tougher guy. He'd get involved. You know, it wasn't a killer or anything, but, well, if he played today, he would be. Murray Craven of the Philadelphia Flyers. Oh, there's a card stuck to the back here. Who is this? Finally, Guy Lafleur. Lafleur's farewell with the Quebec Nordiques. It always seemed weird seeing Guy in the Quebec Nordiques. Oh, and then we could... the Upper Deck 91-92 NHL All-Star Fan Ballot. Cast your vote, folks. Here we go. Pick one from each conference. I remember way back when, on summer holidays, family vacation, my grandma lived in BC, in White Rock, BC, and we'd go down there. I love BC. We'd go down and visit her, and this is like in the mid-'80s. And then we would, all of us would pile into the car, and we'd cross the border and head over to Seattle and go watch a couple Mariners games. We'd go watch a Mariner game. And then back then, the Major League, maybe it does now, I don't know, but the Major League Baseball schedule didn't really change too much. So it was always cool when we were there in August. The Oakland A's were in town. Of course, that's McGuire, Canseco, and of course, they were my favorite players. So it was awesome. I got to see those guys. Watching Canseco and McGuire take batting practice back in like 86, 87, 88 was something. Well, I guess McGuire wasn't there in 86, but 87, 88, man, awesome. But anyway, point to my story being, back then, when you walked in, they had the All-Star Game ballots. And it was like the perforate, you pop the holes in it and stuff. Oh, man, and then you put it in the box. And felt like you made a real contribution. Everyone was voting. And I'll tell you, boy, how voting for All-Star Games is intended to be, let me tell you. But anyway, there we go. There's the hockey card portion. The real edgy. Are you on the here? We'll sell you the whole seat, but you're only going to need the edge. Here we go. Okay. As I'm sitting here, Michael said it'd be, yeah, fucking leave Shanahan and Berube will get the blame. Marner and Matthews don't have any guts in the grit. No, they don't. No. I always say I love when the Leafs fucking lose. The only time I feel bad, though, is I feel bad for Farmer Rob. That's who I feel bad for. The rest of you Leaf fans, go fuck yourselves. But, I mean, no, I'm just kidding. But I ultimately don't, I don't give a shit. But it's just, what are we doing? Like, just, really. Like, come on, man. Like, I will say, because, of course, the father-in-law, because I wouldn't be watching this otherwise, but the father-in-law, of course, we go up to the hospital, right? And he's got the TV in his room. So we're all sitting there, and of course, the hockey, he'll have the hockey games on. He's sitting there watching, and most of the time they got him on like painkillers and stuff, so he's kind of in and out of shit. So you're just basically kind of just sitting there with him. So I've been watching these playoff games. Oh, you talk about a bunch of happy horse shit. Like, this is what a bunch of garbage. Like, I don't care. Like, I mean, I know I'm the bitter old guy and whatever, but people who, whoever watched, don't, like, I mean, like I always say with the newer fans, they don't know any different, the young fans and stuff, like, whatever. But if you're, like, older, like, you're my age and stuff, how anybody can sit there and still watch this shit and be like, oh, this is good stuff. Really intense. Yeah, there's been one whole fight, and it's like, fuck, they barely even hit anymore. It's just, it's a bunch of nothing. Like, just, I was sitting there the other night, and I started, like, who was it? It was Dallas and Winnipeg. I'm like, holy shit, this is boring. And Lisa's like, don't start, whatever. But I'm just like, God, imagine paying, like, thousands of dollars to go watch this shit live. Like, I can tell you, you could have paid $20 yesterday at the Freddy and watched shit that was more intense. I'm telling you. This NHL stuff is just hot garbage. I don't care what anybody says. And now we look at who's in the playoff in the finals here. So we got with team fights this year. We got Dallas with a whole 10 fights this year. Carolina had 9. Edmonton had 15, and the one playoff fight. One fight in the playoffs, but playoff hockey is so fucking intense. And then Florida, 21 fights. Holy shit! What is this? Would they get Laws back? Was this the 90s? 21? Can you bet? Laws had that in the first half of the season on his own. But yeah, there we go. There's the 10 fights, 9 fights, 15. As a team, those are team totals for the year, folks. Yeah, so that real tough hockey really carries you to the cup final. Let me tell you. Oh, what a bunch of garbage, just garbage. But once again, the Leafs, like I put it up on Facebook today, since Marner and Matthews started on the team in 2016, they've lost 6 Game 7s. Every Game 7 they've been in, they've lost. And they had that stat up in the Four Nations in the final. Matthews has never won a deciding game in his career. And he didn't win that one because guess whose man it was that scored in the slot for the... Yep. I mean, and you pay all this money for Nylander and Matthews and Marner and Tavares. What a bunch of duds. I've gone on and on about Matthews and Marner. And you're going to pay these guys... they're just so fucking soft. Hey... Great talent in the regular season. 60 goals and dangling and backhanded sauce and Marner and Matthews. They're the best. And I can't believe you put fucking letters on this guy's fucking jerseys. Are you shitting me? He came in for Game 7 and he's carrying a purse. That's where we're at here. There's the captain. I mean, you got Wendell Clark, Doug Gilmour, and then this guy shows up. We're carrying a purse for Game 7. Disappears once again. But he had 60 goals. Yeah. And his stupid ads on TV with a little porn stash and his 5 head. Just the biggest guy on the ice, scared of his own shadow. Unfucking believable. And I mean, again, with Florida, and I mean, from what I've been watching and stuff, you can say what you want. The guy's got, you got to have some dogs, man. And they got Tkachuk. They got, Bennett and them. Again, they're tough guys. I mean, you don't, clearly, we've just proven you don't need to be tough teams to make the playoffs and advance into the second, third, and final rounds. But you need the grit guys. And the Leafs just don't have it. Never had it. They won't change the chemistry. It's amazing to me. You got Shanahan as a GM. You got Berube as coach. Still soft as fuck. It's, and John brought this up to me the other day, and I obviously never paid attention, but yeah, he goes and he loves Berube the player, so do I, but it's he goes, fuck, Berube's soft as fuck as a coach. And I'm like, well, to be devil's advocate, I mean, he didn't draft, he's not the GM, he's not putting the team together. But having said that, I mean, let's have a look here. So I went down. I know John gave me the penalty minute leaders for each of the teams that each year that he's coached. But we'll cheers. Here to you. First in this hand. And hey, I love me some Chief. He's one of my favorite all-time fighters. But hey, we're being honest here. I went through it. So he started head coaching. 2013, 2014 in Philly, he had Ronaldo, Rosehill, traded for Downey, so hey, that's pretty good. 2014-15, still had Ronaldo. Then he got fired. Chicago Wolves, he coached in 16-17. American Hockey League, nothing. He had nobody. And I'm not just saying that because, they had a couple fighters that weren't very good. No, he had nobody. Literally had Jake Doty for 4 games. 2018-2019, is when they won the cup. Took over halfway through. I mean, yeah, Pat Maroon, but, whatever. Okay. 2019-2020, Braden Shen. Yeah, 44 penalty minutes led the club. And again, Shen's one of those, I'm not knocking Shen. I mean, grit guy. I mean, you win with guys like that. I mean, that's my, I'm not knocking him as a player. Gritty winger guy, but I mean, that's where we are in terms of this is our best fighter, Braden Shen. I mean, all right. 2020, 2021, Kyle Clifford, he had. I don't like. Yeah, Clifford will fight and everything. I don't. Kyle Clifford makes me wonder. Have I ever done a player spotlight on Kyle Clifford? I think maybe I should. Maybe I should learn more because I don't. Like, I see people mentioning him and stuff, and it's like, for a guy who's on the team, he seems to be fairly, like, he's invisible. Like, I know that year I looked up, because I'm like, Kyle Clifford played in St. Louis. I mean, there you go. Not that I was, in 2020, 21, I was watching NHL games, because I wasn't, but I was just like, okay. And I looked up, he had like 4 fights that year in 50 games, but it's like, I don't know, is he one of these, like you got to call me out kind of thing? I don't know. I'm not knocking Kyle Clifford. I was just kind of, didn't he do that shit in the handshake line? I kind of made me why I liked him. I think that was Clifford. In the handshake line in the minors there with the Marlies. Didn't he do that shit? Yank some guy and whatever because the guy was acting like a goof. I was on Team Clifford for that one for sure. I believe it was him. Anyway, 21-22, Nico Makota. Whatever. I don't fucking know who that is. Don't care who that is. But there you go. He led the team in penalty minutes with 55. 22-23, again, Braden Shen. 23-24, holy shit. What is, no, he only played 28, or he only coached 28 games, and then he was canned. And then 24-25 in Toronto, I mean, he had Reeves. How many fights was Reeves in? 2? I mean, although Reeves the last few years, I mean, Berube or no Berube, I mean, whatever. But they sent him down, and then, I mean, Max Domi, I guess. And again, guys like Max Domi, third-line guy, hits. I mean, he's certainly the only gritty guy on the Leafs lately. But, I mean, there we go. So, I mean, is John wrong? I mean, I'm fully agreeing with him. I mean, yeah, I mean, I get it. It's a product of the times, too. I mean, no one's dressed in whatever. But, I mean, you got Craig Berube and for his pedigree and, and his history. And then here he is putting out fucking Nerf teams, right? And it's just, again, he's the coach, not the GM. I get it. But it's just like, boy, oh boy. But then, at the same time, I mean, he won a cup, I mean, with Maroon. Now, I mean, I've been very critical of Patrick Maroon. Like I said, that guy should be charged. That guy should be doing 3 to 5 in the pen for theft for the last bunch of years that he played in the NHL. Because, even this, I get 9 fights. Yeah, he threw 9 punches, too, in 9 fights. Like, whatever. But, and everybody, you can go with 3 cups. I mean, that motherfucker is the biggest passenger ever. But, probably a room guy and stuff. So, I mean, I don't want to knock him too much. But, I mean, I'm not down with Pat Maroon in his transformation over the years. I mean, yeah, whatever. But, okay, so anyway, my point being, you have plenty of hockey people that will go on about, the big rig and how tough he is. Okay. Well, the one time you win a Stanley Cup, you had Maroon on the team. Okay. Well, there you go. And then after that, we're just, no. So, I don't know. But again, as the stats are proving out, I mean, do you really need... But even then, it's like, yeah, you need the Shens, you need the Domies, like I was saying before with Florida, with Bennett and Tkachuk and those guys. Yeah, like they say, they need the dog. You need those dogs in the playoffs, those grit guys, like Edmonton's getting, like Perry's kind of really, those are the guys. Again, I'm not a big fan. They're ratty a lot of times, but... They'll go and get the dirty shit. They'll go into the corners. They get the scrums going. Well, Florida got Marchand now. Is there any... I'm just saying, is there any, doubting... Again, you can hate on Marchand. Not that I'm a big fan. I'm not running out buying jerseys or anything, but gritty, gets under your skin. Again, knows how to win. Captain, just... come playoff time, you need those guys. The guys that'll... they're in the room, they're getting it going, they're in the corners, they're grinding. They just, they'll throw the subtle cheap shot when they have to, like Ben dropping Sheffley the other night there, whack. It's just like, you don't fuck around, right? And I mean, well, there's your, and people can all cry about Ben and whatever. There's the grit, man. There's their captain. I mean, you think Matthews is doing that shit? You think Marner is doing that shit? Like, no, it's just like, I'm not saying, you got to go out and sucker punch people or whatever, but it's just, you know what I mean? Fucking show something. Show some goddamn jam. It's like nothing. They're just soft as shit. They're all about the saucer passes, and they're perimeter players. And you ain't going to win with perimeter players. Same old story. I was telling the guys at the work there, they're big Leaf guys. Of course, every year is the fucking year, right? I'm like, they're not going to win with that core group of guys. And putting the C on Matthews, oh, God. Like, I'm not, whatever, but it's just like, he's a pussy. And it's just like, and Marner, pussy. You can't win with those guys. I don't give a shit. You can score 150 goals in the regular season. Don't mean shit when the playoffs start. Nothing. And it's, he had a point a game in the playoff. Yeah, okay, yeah, you got 3 points in the game. They won 6-1. Oh, well, wait, right on. You assisted on goals 4, 5, and 6 in a 6-0 game. Oh, yeah, here we go, boy. You're clutch, boy. No, and I know he scored the winner the other night. Okay, well, there's his one he scored. Okay, right on. One goal when it counted. But other than that, just time after time after time. It's like, what's the definition of insanity is to keep doing the same thing over and over again? It's the Leafs, man. It's the definition of insanity. They sign these clowns to long-term deals and give them a ton of money. And like I said, they're great in the regular season. But as soon as the playoffs start and guys are starting to hit a little more and it gets a little grindy, a little more scrummy and everything else, they're they disappear fast, like it's like a David Blaine trick or something. Yeah, nothing. So, there you go. Once again, the Leafs go down. But yeah, John brought it up with the Berube coaching, and it's like, yeah, you know what? Hey, he ain't wrong. But you're looking at it. I don't know. Whatever. We'll move on. Fuck the NHL. Who cares? Junior hockey. The Memorial Cup is set. June 1st, I believe is it June? Hold on. I got to hit pause here for a sec. There we go. Okay, May 25th it starts. The Memorial Cup. So that is a tournament in junior hockey to decide it all. And the cool thing in junior, what they do is obviously you have the 3 leagues, the Quebec Junior League, the Ontario Hockey League, and the Western Hockey League. And obviously they don't play each other during the season. They're all their separate deals. But each year, the Memorial Cup goes to a different league, into a different town in each league. So this year it's in Quebec, so it's in Rimouski. So Rimouski being the host team, they're automatically in the Memorial Cup. The host team always gets an automatic bye. And then next year it'll be Ontario, and then after that, WHL, blah, blah, blah. You get what I'm saying. So it's in Rimouski this year. So this year there'll be 4 teams. So there's always 4 teams in the tournament. The host team, and then a team from that league, the team that won that league, and then the other 2 leagues. So that's the cool thing of the Memorial Cup. So now you got teams that have never played each other, never seen each other. So it's all fresh, right? And they play a round robin and then the playoffs. So Memorial Cup, outstanding hockey. So this year from the Western Hockey League is the Medicine Hat Tigers. They beat the Spokane Chiefs in the final. Coach Josh Mazer, assistant coach of the Medicine Hat Tigers. There you go. Former 4th line voice guest and one of the toughest motherfuckers going back in the day. Josh Mazer, tougher than a left turn downtown, I'm telling you. Underrated tough guy. Played the minors for a few years. He was actually my very first guest on the 4th Line Voice podcast when I started it way back, 6-7 years ago. And I always say he spoiled me because he's still one of the best guests I ever had. He was tremendous, told great stories, well-spoken. And, I know he's got the ranch back home on a farm, but he's helping out in Medicine Hat as an assistant coach, and I'm pumped for him. So good for him. And he's a really nice guy, good dude. Yeah, Mazer's well, I'll tell you how badass Josh Mazer is. That guy fought Eric Goddard 13 times in junior. And he fought Steve McIntyre, Scott Parker. He fought everybody. But a lot of his fights are on my YouTube channel. Josh Mazer, Maser. Check him out. You will dig him. He was lots of fun to watch. So I'm pumped for obviously being out west here. Of course, I'm cheering for the Western League team. So go Tigers, go. From the Ontario League, once again, the London Knights, just what a dynasty type organization. And I don't even know how many times Dale Hunter's the coach, and and I know there's a lot of haters in London, and I'm sure they throw around a few bucks to get guys and everything else. But at that point, when you're such a winning organization, you can recruit, man. and they certainly can. So London is in it for the Ontario League, and then of course this year being in Quebec and Rimouski, there's 2 Quebec teams, so Rimouski and Moncton. But Rimouski just wasn't, we're hosting the team, we're hosting it, so we're in, okay, we can float. Rimouski actually made it to the final against Moncton. Moncton won, but so it wasn't like Rimouski was just like, we're in the tournament, so we can just float this year. Like, they obviously, they played hard right to the end, and they weren't going to just be passengers. So, I mean, they lost in the finals, but I mean, there's been some host teams that didn't even make the playoffs sometimes, right? So, because this is like their host teams they're like 2 and 3 years ahead, So, but yes, so we got Rimouski, Moncton, Medicine Hat, and London in the Memorial Cup. So, for 2025, we'll see what happens. Go Tigers, go. Hey, I'm going to be biased, but whatever. Well, I talked about it at the top of the show. So I'm going to share, and if anybody that follows me on social media on Facebook noticed I kept typing hashtag Chief Thunderstick and ready for the Freddy and all that stuff. And I did put some videos up and a bunch of pictures and stuff from my day yesterday. And I had a lot of fun. And for those wondering what I'm talking about, the Fred Saskatchewan Native Hockey Tournament is in Saskatoon every year, and it's for the Native Canadian Championship, and there are teams from all over Canada that come and play in it. There's 40 teams this year. There's a women's division, etc. But every team, it's teams. It's from the reservations, but you're allowed 4 imports. So there's some bucks getting thrown around at a few guys, but you have guys that come back from pro hockey, junior hockey, like a lot of good my talent comes back and plays for the reservations, and like I said, my guest last week, Braden Boschman, he talked about the Freddy that he actually won it with Cross Lake 2 years ago. And like the Fred Sackmoose Cup, and so they call it the Freddy. It's the Native Stanley Cup. It really is in their tournaments. So, he won it a couple years ago with the Cross Lake Islanders. And then the week before I had Ryan Davis, who of course has played in the 90s in the OHL and was Buffalo Sabres draft pick, played a couple years in the minors, great guest. Old man Ryan, at 48 years old, but he's still out there. He was playing for the Six Nations Ironmen. And they had a real solid team. So I wanted to go, and of course, sorry folks, I thought I had to go close that door. Catlin Big Snake, Siksika First Nations, they were in the Chiefs, they were in the tournament as well. And I wanted to go meet him, and he was great. And I want to thank the big man, old Catlin. He looks ready to rumble for Ice Wars, folks. Let me tell you. He gave me a couple of hats from the Big Snake. It was a tattoo parlor that his cousin has, and he has badass logo and shit. And I've been bugging Catlin for those hats for a while, and he brought them with him. So that was really cool of him. I really appreciate it. But I wanted to see him and Ryan Davis and meet them in person and talk to them. And like I said, this tournament's been going on for a bunch of years, and it's always in Saskatoon. I've never gone to it before, so this is my first time. So I couldn't get it. Started on Thursday night, or Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday, and then today is the playoffs. So every team plays 4 games. So, and it's streamed online. And what a tournament! I'm telling you. Like I said, if you're ever in Saskatoon and have a chance to check it out, it's always in the same time here, May long weekend. Man, it's like I said, really solid hockey. I enjoyed myself. It was fun. I went and watched. Paid $20, gets you in for. It was at the Merlis Belcher Center, which is a 2-rink complex. Where the University of Saskatchewan Huskies hockey team plays. It's right on college campus, and brand new facility, just only a couple years old. And I had never been in it before, and I remember the old Rutherford rink from back in the day. But what a center! It holds about 2,500 people in the bowl there. At really nice facility, and then next door, I think it's more of a practice rink, whatever. But and that was more like bleachers around it, but. you know, great facility. And like I said, it was busy, man. I pulled in the parking lot. I was like, whoa, there was cars. They were parked out in the field. They were everywhere. But yeah, got in there, and yeah, the young girls working the door for taking admission were very friendly. And it was $20, and you got to see, like, if you had gone first thing in the morning, because there's games starting at 9 a.m. and they go right to I think the last game face-offs at 8 o'clock. Yeah, for $20, you're seeing whatever, like 20 games that day or whatever if you wanted to. Like I said, I was working, but I kind of stopped work. I was in on overtime. Hey, but I went and watched Catlin's game in the morning and Ryan Davis's game, and then went back to work for a little while, and then, like I said, blah blah blah. Picked up my new phone, and then went back at 5:30 to watch their second games, and yeah, it great hockey, fast. Like I said, it's not wrecked. Like, there's hitting, there's fights, there was a bunch of fights throughout the tournament. I managed to actually get one good one on my. Unfortunately, I didn't get to run into Ryan. I was waiting for him after the game. I was kind of watching the games and kind of hanging out in the hallway, waiting for him to kind of show up. But I must have missed him. But as I was kind of getting ready to leave, I hear so I kind of look through the glass, and all of a sudden I see him. Thankfully, the guys squared off for a while. I was like, oh shit, where's my new phone? I'm trying to get the camera to go, but I ended up, they hadn't started throwing punches yet, and I got the whole thing on video, and shit, I uploaded it yesterday on Facebook. I think it's got 9,000 views already. Good solid tilt though from the guy. Actually, one of the combatants, we follow each other on Facebook, which made me laugh. I told him, hey shit man, you should be looking at Ice Horse. Just saying. If you're listening, Brendan, get a hold of me. We'll talk. But yeah, and like I said, they had security was around. Not that there was any problems, but I mean they're around, and they had the 50-50 draw going. They had the big board to show you all the scheduling and who's playing who. And upstairs they had the merchandise stand. I bought a Chief Thunderstick hockey shirt, so hey, I'll support. And but great merchandise stand. The ladies that ran it were very friendly. She took me because I'm like, hey, you got any fat guy sizes? She, oh yeah, here, come on back here. And, no, they were great. And like I said, they live streamed the games, and of course we're talking, what is there, 40 teams, 4 games apiece, like 160, like we're talking 180 games in 4 days. So they got an announcing team. There's like 5 guys, and one guy does the game. But yeah, you watch the feed. The guys doing the commentary. They got a group of 5. I think it's 4 or 5 guys that they each take turns doing the games. And there's 2 games going on at once. So there you go. And it's boom right up on their site. I think they said they had like 1 million views, or 1 million hits on the site and stuff. Like, man, what. So well run though, and like I said, just the time, boom, the next game right on time when it's supposed to start. Let's go, and and they had there was a couple of younger kids with cameras, like taking pictures, and they were on the ice afterwards taking group shots and players of the game pictures, and and they had the Res podcast was there, Trev and them, and interviewing the players, and it was just a really, like I said, it was just so well run, and it's just streamlined, man, and they've done it before, and but yeah, what great facility, and I think next year, I know next year, yeah, I'm definitely going to make some more time for it. Like, I'd like to go on a Saturday and a Sunday, obviously, for the finals here. The finals being played as I speak right now. Pardon me, but no, outstanding event. So if you have a chance, like I said, solid hockey, man. Like, they were hitting, the boys were taking it serious. They're hitting. There's some fights, and I mean, you fight, you just get kicked out of the game. I mean, but yeah. So full marks to all the volunteers and everybody that was working at the tournament. You guys were great and very welcoming and friendly, and yeah, what a great deal. So yeah, if you ever, like I said, if you ever a chance to check out the Fred Sasakamoose, even just go on their website or go on YouTube, type it up, and they have all of last year's games. They have all the videos up there. Click on one and just watch it for a little bit. You'll see what I mean with the hockey. I mean, it's solid. Now, is it, NHL playoff caliber? Well, no. But I mean, hey, for a bunch of dudes that are, come together and play from off the res. You got a couple import guys. Goddamn, man. I mean, they're taking it serious, like I said, and really good hockey. I really enjoyed myself watching it, which I can't say watching a lot of current hockey these days. I can't say I've enjoyed it all that much. But I did enjoy that. I love the atmosphere, and like I said, everybody was really friendly, and everyone's really excited for it and cheering for their hometown reservation and stuff. And and everybody was respectful. Like I didn't see any problems or people acting out or anything. I mean, whatever. I'm sure there's always a few bozos everywhere. It doesn't matter what sporting event you go to these days, but I certainly didn't see it at the time yesterday anyway, all throughout the day. And yeah, so full marks to the Freddy, man. I was down. It was cool. Great tournament. But yeah, what else are we going to do here? What else do I have to talk about? There was a signing. I forgot to mention. I've been trying to see, folks. I've been trying to recruit for Ice Wars here, and I have I've been working on this kid he's from the UK. Re-signed with the Slough Jets of the NIHL. It is the National Ice Hockey League. It's sort of the I don't know, what do you call it, the semi-professional league over in the UK. And because of course you have the British Elite League and then the NIHL, and there's different levels, but he's in level 1. But his name's Brandon Miles, and I've been calling him Brandon Hard Miles or Brandon 1,000 Miles. I don't know. It's a work in progress. I'm working on his nickname. But no, I was talking to my boys there, old Paul that runs the UK fight site, and old Johnny Searson. You guys have heard him on here. I was just saying, I said, because I was told him I'm kind of trying to help AJ kind of recruit some fighters and stuff. I said, man, is there anybody over in the UK? Because I know the Elite League's a wash. They don't fight in the Elite League anymore. God, does that league fallen off a cliff. But I know Paul has mentioned a couple times, he puts the videos up of this the NI League. Fuck, the UK kids are banging, man. It's like locals and shit. And he's like, hey, you got to check this shit out. Like, man, they're fighting down here. And he, again, you UK folks should be kissing Paul's ass, let me tell you, because that guy has done more to preserve fighting in the UK hockey scene than he's the only one preserving it, I can tell you that. Going back to the 90s with the old Elite League, back when they actually did fight over there, man, they had some tough guys that come over there, the foreigner, like Bezo and all those guys, man, Bedard, tremendous. Anyway, he's kept that going, but he's really been going with the NI League lately, and been putting a bunch of fights up. I encourage you to check it out, because, man, these British kids are going for it. And anyway, I was kind of commiserating with them, and I said, it'd be really cool to get one of these, like, I said, you guys got any tough locals over there with the UK? Like, it'd be cool to get some of them involved, kind of get an international flavor in Ice Wars. You can kind of do the whole angle anarchy in the UK kind of deal. And he goes, and they both kind of told me, they're like, there's a bunch of guys, but he says, the one guy you should be looking at is this Brandon Miles kid, man. You should check him out. I was like, all right. So I went on Paul's channel and looked him up. God damn. I was like, look at this. Holy. Looking good. Like wide open, man, going for it. I'm like, holy shit. So I told Paul, I'm like, here, make me a little highlight tape of this guy. And because I'm going to send it to AJ here. So, and I quickly sent a message to Miles. I was like, dude, you ever think about Ice Wars? Like, and I'm not going to talk about it, but he's into it. Like, he was like, oh, yeah, that'd be cool. And we've gone back and forth about it. I mean, I'm not going to talk, expose his business on here, but never say never. We could be seeing a Brandon Miles come over from the UK to participate in Ice Wars. I think he'd be great. But I mean, he's got the look, big kid, got the tattoos, good looking dude, fighting, wide open fighter. I'm like, clicks every box, man. Because I mean, that's one thing with the Ice Wars that I want to get into here with just talking about Ice Wars. It's not like can you fight, but like AJ has been very vocal about characters. Everyone needs a character. Let's bring it out, develop it, right? Because AJ's a wrestling guy, right? And me being a wrestling fan as well, I completely agree with him. Again, we're not saying Ice Wars is staged and we're going to have fake fights, but it's like, wrestling's not fake, it's just predetermined. But, because the moves hurt. But, anyway. but it's just like have kind of an online presence because you got to promote yourself. The Justice Smoke, he's all over the place. He has his own YouTube channel, he come out with his own merch and stuff like that, and kind of create a persona. Because going forward, if you want Ice Wars to grow, you got to sell yourself, right? That's what it's all about. So, I mean, win, lose, or draw. I mean, even if you're not winning all your fights, but the people gravitate towards you. They like your gimmick. You can sell some merch. I mean, they'll keep you around, man. It's all about sales, right? Putting asses in seats. So, I was telling Brandon, I said, well, that's the thing. That could be you're coming over from the UK, so you're already gonna have the UK folks behind you, and then, like I said, we'll come up with a nickname for you. I still like Brandon Hard Miles. I thought that was pretty good, but anyway, point being, yeah, I think it's cool. So anybody listening to this, if you're in the sound of my voice and you can hear me right now, and I'm telling you, well, that's the one thing, because I've been going around social media and whatever, and I know lots of people through the podcasting world and being kind of in the hockey world and shit. I know guys, right? Can reach out to guys or at least talk to them and stuff. So I told AJ, yeah, shit, man, I'll help you out recruiting and stuff. Let's see what we can get. Got a few guys for the card here. Well, I'm not whatever, but got a few cats for the June 14th show in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. The return of Ice Wars, teaming up with Bare Knuckle Fighting. I got a few cats for that one. Then a couple weeks later, June 28th, back in Edmonton. Can't wait. I'm going to be there. But we'll see how that goes. I know there's a few guys lined up for that already. But yeah, man, I'm out here trying to recruit with AJ and help him out, but I will say, I mean, you put a post up and I put a bunch of things up. Hey, do you want to fight in Ice Wars? Get a hold of me. Oh, yeah, there's always the Tony Twist in the comments section. Oh, I could do that. I used to fight all the time. I'd love it. So then you get a hold of the guy. It's like, yeah, all right, well, here, give me your vitals and stuff and where you played or what you're, and then, I'll send you over to AJ and we can get that contract ready. If you have any video of yourself fighting. Oh, well, bro, I was just saying, yeah, maybe I'll get back to you on that one. I got a lot of shit. I'm real busy at work lately. And, oh, yeah, you were flapping your lips 5 minutes ago on social media about, how you get in there and kick ass. But now all of a sudden it's hubba when it comes to nut cutting time. So, yeah, so you got that. But there's been a few guys I've talked to and, put on to AJ, and they've had, contracts sent because they want to hear about the insurance and the money and all that. I mean, not that I blame them, but absolutely. But, and I'm not going to get into that. That's AJ's deal and Charlie and those guys. I'm just putting the word out and the bug in your ear. And if I see some video on a guy or, and he looks like, he wants to throw and he's into it and stuff, it's like, yeah, I'll drop him a line and be like, hey, I can tell you there's a couple guys at the Freddy that have gotten direct messages from me that were, because, I mean, it's not like, you have to have some, ex-pro hockey experience or a former junior player. I mean, obviously that helps, but I mean, hey, man, if you're just a tough senior hockey player that wants to go out and try it, yeah, absolutely. I mean, and I don't mean this as a disrespectful thing to say to Justice Smoke or anything, but Justice never played in it. Like, he was, air quote, a nobody going into the first Ice Wars. He was just a local kid out of Manitoba, and he's been awesome in it. And, there's been a few guys like that. So, I mean, you certainly don't have to have a pro background to get into Ice Wars. So, again, if anybody out there is listed, Cam Prouty was on my show here when Ice Wars was supposed to happen a year ago. And he made the mistake, I don't know, about calling out Justice Smoke on my podcast. Well, I'll put it this way. Smoke took the challenge. So you're going to see him and Prouty here on the 14th in Michigan. But there was a guy right there who, he played some high school hockey back in the Massachusetts and stuff. And he's training and getting ready for it. And we'll see how he can do. So, yeah, anybody out there listening, I know I got players that listen to this. I got ex-players that listen to this. Yeah, if you're down and you want to give it a go, get a hold of me, and we'll get the wheels rolling in terms of your Ice Wars. But yeah, folks, as the Ice Wars gets closer, I'm looking to have a couple of the fighters on the show, and of course I'm gonna get Jay and Alec on here again. Then we'll do our annual, or I guess it's not annual, but our Ice Wars preview show that we've done. Well, they've done 3 Ice Wars. We've done the preview shows for all 3 and the review shows of all 3. But the preview shows have been some of my most listened to episodes, and people really enjoy it. I got to say, folks, our fearless predictions We're almost hitting 100%. So we know what we're talking about, but we'll do the bios and the fighters and try to get you as much information as we can and give our opinions on a few things. And so that'll be coming up here in the next couple of weeks. So, but yes, June 14th in Mount Pleasant, Michigan at the Soaring Eagle Casino. Ice Wars returns. Ice Wars 4. And then 2 weeks later at the River Creek Casino, June 28th. I will be there. Back to the scene of the crime. The original 2 Ice Wars were in Edmonton, and I'm really looking forward to it. I love the event, so it'll be a lot of fun. But while we hit the hour mark, I've managed to meander and yap for an hour. But I was saying before, I want to get. I was going to talk to you about the WHL, the best in the East from 2000, from the Regina Leader Post, and as I said, the ballots were given to. Coaches and players, and you weren't allowed to vote for teammates, and so you're getting the most I would say honest vote. So I just got to enlarge this here, and all right. Well, that's not gonna work. Get a little bigger. Eyes aren't that good. So this is the year 2000. So who were the best fighters in the Western Hockey League according to the players? If I can find, where is the best fighter category? Here it is. Okay. Number 1 from the Calgary Hitmen, Stephen Peat. Well, I would say that was a pretty solid vote. He got 82 points, 14 first place votes. So he was a landslide because the guy in second at 55, you know who the guy in second was? Eric Goddard. And it was really interesting that year when Goddard and Pete fought. Goddard actually buckled Pete. Straighten him right out. If you that fight is on my YouTube channel if you want to see it. That leg goes out. Third, Darcy Hordichuk with the Saskatoon Blades. Then Graham Belak, Wade's younger brother in Kootenay. Craig Brunel, Dion Lassu, Dean Serdachny. Underrated. Dean Serdachny is really tough. Dean Serdachny versus Eric Goddard. Again, on my I hate to keep saying the Fourth Line Voice YouTube channel, but this is why I upload all this old Western Hockey League stuff for this reason. Serdachny and Goddard have a really great fight on my channel. Travis Churchman of Regina, Jimmy Vandermeer for the Red Deer Rebels. I put a fight up on my YouTube or my Facebook page the other day of Jim Vandermeer one punch. Oh no, pardon me, that was Ted Vandermeer that one punched the guy. But Jim Vandermeer I've had a bunch of his WHL fights too. He's been a great fight. Great fights. Barrett Jackman, Colton Orr of Swift Current. So that was Colton Orr's rookie year. So he would get better. Regan Darby, Josh Mazer, there we go. Randy Ponte, and then Jordan Tutu to round out the list. But yeah, man. So that was the year 2000. What a man, toughness. Best pro prospect Scott Hartnell, and then Jay Bowmeister, Jarrett Stoll, Dan Blackburn, Brian Sotheby, there you go, Philippe Novak. But yeah, Hartnell, Bowmeister, Stoll. Yeah, I would say, and Blackburn just had injuries, unfortunately, for that. Kind of halted his career before it got going, the goalie there. But, Hartnell, Bowmeister, and Stoll, I think that was some pretty solid picks by the boys. Like I said, if anybody's going to know, it'll be the players, right? We'll go into the year 2000, go into 2001 here. Let's, where is best fighter? Well, he quickly moved up the rankings in 01. Jim Vandermeer was number 1 with 59 votes, or 59 points. Then number 2 was David Kozauka with Regina. That was the year Kozauka went nuts, man. He had like 500 minutes that year, and I think he had 40 fights. He was all over that Regina Pats DVD. Again, David Kozauka, wide open fighter. He was a lot of fun to watch. Number 3, Grant McNeil for the Prince Albert Raiders. Of course, went on to have a great pro career. Man, but yeah, look up Colton Orr, Grant McNeil, and McNeil Jordy. That's a great fight too. Brett Scheffelmeyer, big man in Medicine Hat. Matt Sommerfeld, you've heard me talk about Matt Sommerfeld a bunch of times on this channel. Very underrated. He played 3 years in the Western League, and then that was it. He went back to the farm, but great fight. Steve McIntyre raves about Matt Sommerfeld, how tough he was, but he fought everybody. McIntyre, Morasti, on and on. Randy Ponte, Barrett Jackman, Derek Halderson of the Blades, Dean Serdachny again rounded out. So But yeah, Kazoka and McNeil, man, and Jim Vandermeer. Them Vandermeers, something in the water there. 2002. Here we go. We'll talk about this. Best undrafted pro prospect. Oh, Bomeister. Well, Bomeister started at 15, so he's in all these. Bomeister, Joffrey Lupul, Brett Seabrook, Johnny Boychuk. Yeah, well, again, think the players don't know? Come on, we're best fighter. Here it is. Well, this year was Grant McNeil. He was number one with 80, the runaway 84 points, or 84 points. Yeah, 16 first place votes. Then Steven Spencer from Swift Current was number 2. Garth Murray was 3rd. Ryan Jordy 4th. I don't know about Garth Murray being ahead of Ryan Jordy, but again, these are the players. Doug Lynch from Red Deer. Randy Ponte. Derek England from Moose Jaw. Medicine Hats, Derek Bugard. And Medicine Hats, Brett Schuffelmeyer. That's the one thing with Bugard. Of course, well, everybody remembers, obviously. Do you know who Derek Bugard is? Yeah, like I have to explain that to the listeners. Bugard was definitely a puppy with big paws, to quote Jim Cornette, in the Western Hockey League. He was not the boogeyman that he became at the pro level. He put in a lot of work, worked on a lot of stuff, and really learned how to use his size, obviously, when he turned pro. He started to find it in Medicine Hat. I'm surprised he only had the 4 points, but he didn't play the full season in Medicine Hat, if I remember correctly. He went on to Louisiana and played in the East Coast League, but he was starting to get it. But Bugard's first couple years in the Western Hockey League, he wasn't that good. He took a lot of lumpins, actually. But, learned to use his size. Same with Derek England. But Randy Ponte and Brandon, man, I believe he's the Western Hockey League's all-time fighting leader. He did it for 5 years. He seemed like Ponte played for like a decade in the league, but he started so young. He was really young, like late 15, 16 years old. And, well, he's 16 years old. I believe his first fight in the Western Hockey League was against Kyle Friedrich. So it tells you the balls that Randy Ponte had. But yeah, Grant McNeil at number 1's no surprise. He could bang. And, actually McNeil dropped Bugard, knocked him out. And it was funny. Aaron Bugard, Derek's younger brother, for Christmas one year, got the game sheet and had Grant McNeil autograph it, and he gave it to Derek for Christmas. So that was pretty funny to hear. And then Steven Spencer, of course, the UK fans will remember that cat. But he's another big dude, man. But there we go. And then the final one, 2003. Like I said, they stopped doing them after that. But 2003, it's just great, like looking at the names. And Jordan Tutu voted best body checker. There you go. Dion Phaneuf second. Yeah, I would say. I would say so. Who they have for their under best pro prospect: Dion Phaneuf, Ryan Getzlaff, Brent Seabrook, Kyle Chipchura, Eric Fear, Cam Barker. Again, don't tell me the players don't know what's going on. They knew. Best fighter once again, Grant McNeil, 90 points, not even close. Next guy was Derek England with 38. Like I said, England really came into his own that year in Moose Jaw. But yeah, Grant McNeil was a Forest those final 2 years in junior. Steven Spencer was 3rd. Patrick Weller, 4th. Colton Orr from Regina was 5th. Orr got hurt that year, unfortunately. Adam Huxley in Saskatoon, then DJ King, and then Jordan Tutu. Yeah, King was just starting out. Unfortunately, we didn't get the, his like 04 and 05 years. But, Grant McNeil on top of the list here in the early 2000s, and Derek England and Colton Orr and Adam Huxley. Adam Huxley, again, had a great minor league career, real technician. He was like kind of like a little Darren Langdon-ish, right? Like kind of a grappler, but could throw with both hands, real technical. DJ King, well, I don't need to sell you guys on DJ King. You guys saw him. Colton Orr, again, in junior, he was hurt a bunch of times, but yeah, wide open fighter. Guys, again, if you want to see these Western Hockey League fights, them, again, I keep hating to promote my channel, but yeah, Fourth Line Voice on YouTube. I have I have a bunch of Colton Orr WHL stuff. I have some Bugard WHL stuff, McNeil. Again, not like there was internet TV or anything back then, and I have footage of everyone. Unfortunately, no. But the footage that is out there, I've tried to preserve and put up on my channel, like some Stephen Pete stuff from when he was in Calgary and Red Deer, Scott Parker, a lot of Scott Parker Kelowna stuff, because fortunately there's a lot of Kelowna stuff out there. Yeah, I encourage you to please just go to the little little spyglass there. Just type in Western Hockey League, because I have everything sorted. Just type in WHL and just boom, go down. You'll be going down that rabbit hole for hours. But anyway, folks, cheers to you. Thank you for tuning in. I think we'll call it a night here, an hour and 10 minutes. That's not bad. But yeah, again, I want to thank everybody at the Fred Saccamoose tournament. Big thanks to Catlin Big Snake for the hats. Big shout out. It was great to meet you, big man. Looking forward to seeing you tilt there in Michigan. Yeah, and thank you to you guys. As I always say, this is your podcast. And, thank you very much all these years for listening and always the positive feedback. And it's been great. I know like I said, there's 3.5 million podcasts out there, I learned. And the fact that you chose to listen to this one, I really do appreciate it. And thanks for sticking with me, guys. And everybody have a good long weekend, and let's attack the work week. We'll get back at her. Tuesdays are always tough after that long weekend, boy. Oof. But we'll get back out of here, folks, and enjoy your week. And I will talk to you next weekend. Thanks, everybody.
And you people that don't like fighting, how many of you did you walk out and get a coffee while that was on?